Hey y'all, my name is Mark and this is my Taskman episode 0. As you can see, this is the character creation screen for RuneScape 3 where you can choose if you want to play a regular account or as an Iron Man. And since I hate myself, I'm going to be playing hardcore, which means I need to go ahead and get some gold rolling in. For those of you not in the know, a Taskman is a snowflake way of playing the game, mainly for people who just have no control of their life and would like to extend that into video games. We just went ahead and took every step leading to Completion Escape and put it onto this fancy little website, and then it'll just spit out something for you to do. You just do it, no questions asked. So just like everything else in the world, this does have some rules. Number one is just be efficient towards completing your task. So if you have a combat task, you can't go off and go fletch some new bows for an upgrade weapon or go craft some potions just to make your attack or strength a bit higher. Just got to go ahead and do it with what you got. Number two is as far as D&Ds and minigames are concerned, you can use what you have as long as it progresses towards your task. So if you have a divination task, you can go ahead and do Gothixian caches to get your level up. But if you already are at the level, you can't. So tough shit. And finally, as far as lamps are concerned, they're pretty much free reign with the exception you cannot go leveling up a skill to be able to lamp it or to lamp it for more experience. So if the only one available at the time is Constitution, well, tough shit, dude. Now my first pre-test goal is to get some starting gold by gathering some freebies, starting with the Birth Orb rune shop for some runes and tallies. Then to head on over to Varrock, Roblo's Archer Emporium, take all of his bows, arrows, and other shit that he might carry. Head over to Aubrey, chat him up for some runes. Make my way over to Generic Shopkeeper, take all of his weapons from the Varrock's Ordinary Shop. And then sell all this shit on over to the general store. This will net me about 1k, which will then cover my boat ride from Port Sarum to Catherby. So I went ahead and unlocked the Alcarade, Varrock, and Lumberjalet zones. Probably not in that order. And now it's time for the first of about 60 inventories of buying silk from my new best friend Ollie. I managed to get a few of these without messing up once muscle memory kicked in, but for the most part it was just constant errors. Occasionally I would stop talking to him before getting the silk, or even just try buying it with an inventory full. And also that man you see walking around in the green shirt, he's a complete asshole. He would occasionally interrupt my conversation with Ollie and then start yelling at me for no reason whatsoever, leading me to have to take a break from RuneScape just so I would not cry. It was a really tough time for me. So this is when I realized that I was, one, not a member of this world, and two, not even subscribed. So I went ahead and threw some money at Jagex. Accidentally paid for the wrong account's subscription, so that got extended another 3 months, but whatever. Not like I won't be playing that at the same time as playing this one anyway. And then here I am running out of run energy for about the 5th time already. So not having surge or even agility's level in like the double digits really sucks ass, dude. Finally made it over to Ardoin, so I'm going to go ahead and sell my silk to the silk merchant here. Wanted to test to see if you could sell it noted to Ollie, but sadly you cannot. However, you are able to do an entire inventory at once, so whatever. It only would have saved me about 20 minutes in the long run. This is a clip about 3 hours into buying all of the silk one by one, as mentioned earlier. Early guesses, I thought it would only take me an hour or two. That was horribly wrong. I do an inventory every 4 minutes. That's about 4 to 5 hours worth of buying I need to do in total. Hey guys, Taskman Silk back with the final inventory of buying from my longtime friend and business partner, Ollie. About 4.5 hours in, I'm nearly done, thank fucking god. Other methods you can do to earn Taskman gold early on without having to talk to this motherfucker would be to just go north of here to the Alcarade mine, get some common gem rocks, mine and cut that shit, sell it on over to the general store. I didn't feel like doing that because I wanted to get all my money without any experience. Fuck, you could even just go spot some penguins, go ahead and sell their points over to Charlie, but sadly that's part of the RD diary, so I don't want to do that. Final option I can think of, I guess, would be killing some giant frogs in the lumber and swamp cave, sell that shit on over to Hudo and the Grand Tree for 1k each. Make bank that way if you have the combat stats high enough. Alright, here's the final inventory of selling to my new friend, Ollie the Silk Merchant. Had a bit of a fever dream where Ollie would have to pay more in shipping fees if he were to get a real supply chain going from Alcarade over to Ardoin, and instead of buying from adventurers like yours truly, which I guess is more cost effective for him to get his merchandise. Anyway, went on over to Varrock, got another set of freebies so that way I could have a starting set for when I eventually get to combat task. And also, I didn't want to go over to the Edgeville lodestone and then die to the mugger while I'm loading in, losing all of my progress, and I'd probably cry myself to sleep for the next few days. So I'm going to go ahead and buy the Jar of Divine Light from Mr. X, secure my Iron Man status after my eventual death. And yeah, that's Taskman 0. If you made it this far, this is the end.